What if I tell you that exercise is not necessarily the only solution to avoid obesity or to improve your cardiovascular system or just to have a better sleep? What if that's not the only answer? What is happening, and let me share this with you, marketing and all these big corporations, they're quite tricky when they do their marketing. And I recently was watching something that CocaCola has been doing all these different promotions, especially in Latin America. And so they're putting CocaCola, it's everywhere. So the trick is, in order to sound that they're good, right? They're promoting exercise. What they don't tell you, it is how bad Coca-Cola is. How bad those products are for your health and your well-being. And this is the trick of why sometimes exercise is not only the answer to improve health. And this is where, the book Happy Naked comes in, for example, because I'm talking about different areas that is going to help you to be happy in your own body. And here's this is another thing that it's happening when it comes to marketing and all the things that you see out there in social media or, on TV. I see more and more, even the advertisements on YouTube as well, where it's about, how our values are being completely twisted. And I will give you another reference on why we shouldn't be even taking consideration or listening to all these ads that we see all the time. So there is one ad on YouTube that I have seen a few times already, where there is this couple speaking to her mom and saying, well, mom, what are you going to bring to the table since I'm using, my points for a trip? So, and in my mind, I'm like, what the heck is that? Are you asking your mom, who gave you life, who supported you? Maybe your mom wasn't, perfect. I don't think any mom is perfect, and I include myself into that. However, you just go and say, oh, what are you going to bring to the table? What about the fact that she gave you life? I think that's enough. You don't really need to ask your mom what she's going to bring to the table to that family trip. So, and this is where what I'm getting with the fact that things are twisted. This world, it's totally twisted. And this is how these big companies are also promoting exercise, that it's with the fact that they know that their products are horrible for people, which is why they're actually promoting exercise. There's another thing about exercise that a lot of people do not take in consideration. And there has been many books written. There are many studies done around exercise and how we can be more efficient. And which is what I always say, it's intention. What is your intention when you exercise, right? And in the next 10 to 20 years, what do you want to see? What is your goal? Because it's not just a 30-day program because you want to get on that dress for that wedding that you want to go to in Mexico or the Mediterranean or going in a cruise. It's not about that, right? Yes, it can be for the short-term goal. Yes, of course. But long-term, where do you want to see yourself 10, 20 years from now? Do you want to be 80, 90, or 100 and be in a senior home, somebody taking care of you? Or you want to be 80, 90, or 100, or 120 and be this individual that is still very driven, still living on purpose, it is at service, and is completely agile, living the best life ever? So those are the questions that I want you to ask. So ask yourself. So when it comes to exercise, again, going back to that, is it that the formula or the magic pill? Yes, exercise is medicine. When you really use it intentionally to build muscle, like to allow you that your range of motion as you grab something on your cabinet is not going to give you back pain, when you don't have the sciatica, for example, when you are able to go on holiday and walk and walk and walk and walk and go everywhere and feel good and energetic, right? As you're doing all these different activities and enjoying your trip. These are the things that I want you to start thinking about, because the fitness industry is twisting, so it has been twisted for a very, very long time. Another thing about the fitness industry, and many people, is the think that about doing weight training, it's about, you know, having big muscles and stuff like that. Muscles are very, very, very important for you when it comes to, again, going back to where do you want to see yourself 10, 20, depends on your age, 10, 20, even 50 years from now. Where do you want to see yourself? And that's where the muscle take a big role. Number one, increases your metabolism, right? So as we age, also, I see a lot of women especially, and men as well, actually, men and women, right? The fat start increasing, right? And you're like, oh, it's my metabolism. Yes, I'm old. Yes, I have to exercise, but I lack of discipline. Oh, I have to exercise, but I lack of motivation. Let's put yourself into that mindset of what do you want to see in the next 20, 30 years from now? Do you want to be in a wheelchair? Do you want to have a cane because, you know, your knees are screaming at you and you cannot walk properly? So if that's a future that you want, which I doubt, then you can keep doing what you're doing, and you can keep giving yourself the excuse of, yes, I lack of discipline, I don't have energy, I lack of motivation, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So if that's not the future that you want, then what are the things that you're going to do now? Because what you do today, it is what is going to give you, you know, the next 20, 30 years of an optimum life, a healthy life, agile. And that's how building muscle, it is so key in this journey. It is very, very, very important, which is why you really, really have to work out intentionally. What is the intention? And I think we all share in common that we want to grow old and being agile and do not depend on somebody else, depending on your grandchildren, depending on your kids, depending on somebody, a partner. You want to be able to live life fully and choose when to die in your own terms. Because yes, you can do that. So instead of putting death out in the ether and letting the universe or God or the angels decide for you, what about if you decide how you would like to die? And that will be in your own terms. And you build that right now by, you know, working out intentionally to build muscle, to actually improve your range of motion. It's not about flexibility, it's about range of motion. As we age, like this is how far can you go? And then it leads to the next part, which everybody knows and everybody's talking about, which is food. And what are the food items that you're choosing every day in your life? That is also going to contribute to how your aging process is going to look like. And then the most important one, and I think everybody have tons of issues with that, it is resting and sleep. So resting and sleep might not be the same. So resting, it is taking time to rest, to ease, to slow down. Sleep, you really have to improve your quality of sleep, because it's going to impact in your future. So when you work out intentionally, you need to rest in order to allow your body to repair and restore from that exercise. You're still breathing, which means that you're still using your lungs. I'm talking here, you're still using your brain. I'm still using my brain because I'm moving my arms, sending that message to my body saying, move your arms, move your fingers, right? My hair is still growing, my nails still growing. It means that my body